Today, I'm grateful for a bit of perspective about reading and performing and the pressure of sometimes overperforming online. I created a new channel on my YouTube account a couple of weeks ago. It is to share the joys of reading, where I would be able to post recordings of me reading aloud favorite books like these ones that my boys and I shared since they were very little, since they were babies. We always loved reading, and we get a lot of joy out of reading aloud because we can experiment and explore different ways of expressing the material. It is meant to be fun, and when we record our reading, theirs will stay private because they're very little, but mine will go online to share mainly with family and friends. That's what I'm hoping for with this channel. So over the weekend, we read this, Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney, a very famous children's book. So we recorded a few different versions of reading it, and in each one we had mistakes, just normal reading mistakes, like I catch my breath a lot, or I misread some bits and then I go over it again, and so on. After we recorded it, it was time for me to post one of my versions on the YouTube channel. And I took a few minutes to edit out the mistakes, and then I posted it. But my young son, who saw me do that, then asked why I was editing it. So before he asked that, I didn't even think about it, and I just did it. Because for most of my content online, which I have a lot of, I do think very carefully about the message that I'm conveying, and I edit the content so that the message is better delivered. And for highly produced stuff like my student podcasts, I even have a producer and a team that does it. But in this case, this is about the joy of reading, and the joy of reading involves mistakes. Some time ago, my children learned from their school this phrase: humans are mistake makers. And we've always emphasized that in this house, and we celebrate that in this house. So we include that in our reading. So when we were doing our reading, we talked and we laughed about our own mistakes. And then we learned from it, of course. So but the few minutes that I took to go and edit out the mistake before sharing the recording seems to go against that. It was telling them that something is wrong with those mistakes, something that I need to hide from the rest of the world. And it is fueling this very strong temptation that is online, where we need to perform everything that we share all the time. So the next book that we're going to read is Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. But before we do that, I think the boys and I should have a conversation about reading and mistakes, and what is performance and what is not performance, and what mistakes stay private and what mistakes is part of our experience and our enjoyment, and that we should share. So you can help by sharing your perspective. Do you like reading? For open reading, what is appropriate and what is not appropriate within family, with friends, and with the public? Let me know.